Your legs feel weaker. Your grip isn't what it used to be. You might think it's just aging, but what if it's something you're eating every morning in today's countdown? We reveal the number one worst breakfast secretly linked to muscle loss in seniors, and we'll show you what to eat instead to protect your balance, your strength, and your independence. Let's dive into the truth behind sarcopenia, starting with your plate. You wake up, maybe you're not that hungry yet. Maybe you just pour a quick cup of coffee, grab a slice of toast, and move on with your morning. It seems harmless, but that one small choice, the thing you've done for years without thinking, could be the reason you're the number one worst breakfast for seniors. Muscles feel weaker, your energy feels lower, and your balance isn't what it used to be after a full night of sleep. Your muscles are in a fragile state. They've spent hours without nutrients, and now they're waiting for fuel to start repairing. If they don't get what they need, your body enters a state called catabolism. In simple terms, it begins breaking down your muscle tissue for energy instead of rebuilding it. This is how a condition called sarcopenia takes hold. Sarcopenia is gradual muscle loss due to age, but it doesn't happen just because the calendar turns. It happens because your muscles aren't being supported, and breakfast is one of the most overlooked pieces of that puzzle. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism shows that muscle protein synthesis, the body's natural process of rebuilding muscle, peaks after waking up. But here's the catch: it only works if you give your body the right materials. If your first meal is just coffee toast or sugary cereal, your muscles don't get the signal they need to rebuild. In fact, your body might continue breaking them down. And there's another hidden danger. These quick breakfasts are usually high in refined carbohydrates and low in protein. That combo causes a sharp spike in blood sugar, followed by a crash. You may feel energetic for an hour, then suddenly tired, foggy, or even unsteady on your feet. Meanwhile, your muscles are being starved of the nutrients they need to stay strong and responsive. Most seniors don't realize they're under-eating protein, especially in the morning. You may feel full, but your body could be running on empty when it comes to the building blocks of strength. So what should breakfast really look like if you want to fight muscle loss? The answer is simple but powerful. You need real nourishment. That means including something with protein, like eggs, yogurt, or nut butter, paired with healthy fats and complex carbohydrates such as oats or whole grain bread. And you need to hydrate. A glass of water first thing in the morning helps your muscles absorb nutrients more efficiently and improves circulation, which supports healing and flexibility. You don't have to overhaul how sugar fuels muscle breakdown, your entire diet. Even a small addition like half a boiled egg, a spoonful of peanut butter, or a handful of nuts can shift your body into repair mode. You're not just feeding your hunger, you're telling your body, these muscles still matter, keep them strong. Because what you eat in that first hour of your day sets the tone for how your muscles function, heal, and age. Now let's talk about the second morning mistake. It's a habit, so ordinary, most people don't give it a second thought, but it may be quietly accelerating muscle loss just as much as skipping breakfast. It's easy to reach for something sweet in the morning. A bowl of cereal, a flavored yogurt, a muffin, or even a glass of orange juice can feel like a quick, comforting way to start the day. But for seniors, these sugary breakfast choices can quietly sabotage your muscles in ways most people never talk about. You already know sugar isn't good for your blood sugar or your waistline, but what's rarely discussed is how it directly affects muscle strength. When you eat refined sugar, your blood glucose spikes rapidly. Your body responds by releasing a flood of insulin to bring those levels down. And over time, this constant cycle of sugar spikes and insulin crashes creates chronic inflammation inside your body. That inflammation doesn't just cause fatigue, it interferes with your body's ability to repair and grow muscle tissue. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that excessive sugar intake actually reduces muscle protein synthesis. That's the exact process your body uses to rebuild muscle after movement or exercise. So even if you go for a walk or try light stretching, your muscles may not be recovering or getting stronger because sugar is blocking the repair process at the cellular level. And it doesn't stop there. Refined sugar also increases oxidative stress. That's a fancy way of saying your body begins producing too many free radicals, unstable molecules that damage healthy cells. Muscles that are exposed to oxidative stress for long periods become weaker, more prone to fatigue, and slower to respond to movement or exercise. The worst part: sugar hides in foods we don't expect. It's not just in cake and cookies, it's in fruit-flavored yogurts, instant oatmeal, packets, energy bars, salad dressings. Even so-called healthy cereals and granola. You might think you're eating well, but your body is getting hit with a wave of inflammation before you've even left the house for seniors. This adds up quickly. Every sugary breakfast is like telling your muscles you're on your own. No support, no repair, just slow breakdown day by day. But the good news is, change is simple and it starts with awareness. Begin by reading ingredient labels. Look for hidden sugar words like glucose, fructose, corn syrup, cane juice, or maltodextrin if it sounds sweet, and dehydration and muscle stiffness. Scientific it probably is. If you're craving something sweet, try adding fresh fruit like berries or sliced pears to your breakfast. Use cinnamon or vanilla to add flavor instead of sugar. Choose plain Greek yogurt instead of flavored varieties. Swap white bread for whole grain. Every small swap reduces inflammation and gives your muscles a better chance to stay strong. Because sugar doesn't just affect your blood, it affects your balance, your coordination, your ability to recover from a stumble or get back up after a fall. And that brings us to another habit one. So basic, you might not even notice it. It's something most seniors overlook, but it plays a massive role in muscle strength, flexibility, and recovery. You probably don't think much about water. First thing in the morning, maybe you have a glass with lunch, maybe you sip a bit throughout the day, but if you're over 60, this quiet habit not drinking enough water might be doing more damage to your muscles than you realize. Your muscles are made up of nearly 75% water. That's not just a fun fact, it's a biological reality. Water is what allows your muscles to stretch, contract, recover, and rebuild. Without it, they become stiff, slow, and far more prone to injury. The problem is, by the time you feel thirsty, your body is already dehydrated, and dehydration hits older adults differently as we age. Our sense of thirst becomes less reliable. So even if you don't feel thirsty, your muscles may already be struggling. When your body lacks water, blood circulation slows down. That means fewer nutrients and less oxygen are reaching your muscles. It also means waste products like lactic acid aren't being cleared out as efficiently. You might start to notice this as tightness in your legs, soreness after short walks, or even dizziness when you stand up too fast. And it's not just about how much water you're drinking, it's also about what else you're drinking. Many seniors sip coffee, tea, or soda throughout the day. While these might seem harmless, they can actually make dehydration worse. Caffeine and sugary drinks act as diuretics. They cause your body to flush out more water than it takes in. That creates a vicious cycle. You feel tired, so you drink more coffee. You feel thirsty, so you reach for juice. But underneath it all, your muscles are being starved of the one thing they need to stay flexible and strong. So what can you do? Start simple. A glass of water first thing in the morning before coffee, before breakfast can instantly begin rehydrating your muscles and brain. Try the truth about strength training after 60, drinking a small glass before each meal. Keep a water bottle nearby and take small sips throughout the day. If plain water feels boring, add lemon slices, cucumber, or a few mint leaves. Even foods like watermelon, cucumbers, and oranges can boost your hydration. If eaten regularly, this doesn't mean you need to drown yourself in water, but aiming for 6 to 8 glasses a day, especially if you're active, taking medications, or living in a warmer climate, can make a noticeable difference in your muscle recovery and mobility. Because hydration isn't just about avoiding cramps, it's about protecting your balance, your independence, your ability to walk across the room without fear of falling. And now, let's talk about something that often feels intimidating, especially if you've never done it before, but it could be the single most powerful thing you can add to your routine to fight muscle loss. After 60, it's not pills, it's not supplements, it's strength. When most people hear the words strength training, they picture heavy dumbbells, gym memberships, or young athletes flexing in front of mirrors. For many seniors, the idea feels out of reach, too intense, too painful, or simply not worth the effort. But here's the truth. The older you get, the more important strength training becomes, not less, more. After the age of 30, the average person loses 3 to 5% of their muscle mass every decade. By the time you hit 60, that rate can double unless you actively work to stop it. And when those muscles disappear, so does your strength, your stability, and your confidence. You don't realize it at first. Maybe you start avoiding stairs, maybe carrying groceries feels a little harder. Maybe you need both arms to push yourself out of a chair, and before you know it, simple tasks, getting dressed, reaching overhead, standing from a low seat, start to feel like obstacles. This is sarcopenia in action, and while it moves quietly, it can take over fast. The good news is you can stop it. In fact, you can reverse it. And it doesn't take hours in a gym or lifting heavy weights. A study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research showed that just two 30-minute strength sessions per week significantly improve muscle mass balance and walking speed in older adults. So, what does that look like in real life? It can be as simple as standing up and sitting down from a chair. No hands holding a standing pose for 10 seconds. To improve balance, doing gentle wall push ups, lifting water bottles instead of dumbbells, using a resistance band while sitting on the couch. It doesn't have to be big, but it does have to be consistent. The goal isn't to become a bodybuilder. The goal is to remind your muscles they're still needed when you challenge them. Even gently, they respond. They grow stronger, more coordinated, more capable of everyday foods, quietly damaging your muscles, supporting you through everyday life. Think of strength training not as exercise but as muscle communication. You're telling your body, stay active, stay alert. I still need you. And that message has ripple effects. It improves posture, it reduces fall risk, it helps prevent injuries, it supports your joints and bones. And most importantly, it gives you back a sense of control. You don't need to do a lot. Even 10 minutes a day can make a lasting difference. Start slow, focus on form, not speed, breathe deeply. Stay steady over time. Your muscles will remember what they're capable of, and so will you. You might be doing everything right. Maybe you walk every day. Maybe you drink more water, stretch regularly, and even try light strength training. But if your plate is filled with the wrong foods, foods that look innocent but quietly increase inflammation, your muscles could still be under attack. That's because muscle health isn't just about movement, it's also about what you feed your body. Every meal is a choice. Either you're giving your muscles the nutrients they need to recover and grow, or you're feeding them substances that weaken their structure and delay healing. Let's talk about the worst offenders. Sugary soft drinks are a major one, whether it's regular soda or so-called diet versions. These drinks contain chemicals that feed inflammation, raise blood sugar, and dehydrate your muscles. They deliver zero nutrients and leave your body weaker after every sip. Processed meats are another hidden danger. Things like deli slices, sausages, or ham might be easy to throw into a sandwich, but they're often packed with preservatives like nitrates and high levels of sodium. These additives increase oxidative stress in the body and impair your ability to absorb nutrients, two things that directly impact muscle recovery. Then there are refined carbohydrates. White bread, white rice, and regular pasta may taste comforting, but they've been stripped of their fiber and nutrients. They raise your blood sugar quickly and offer no lasting fuel for your muscles over time. This can contribute to muscle fatigue, slower repair, and reduced stamina. And we can't forget about fried or fast food meals. High in trans fats and low in vitamins actively interfere with your body's hormone balance, making it harder to regulate muscle growth and recovery. These fats can also reduce circulation, meaning your muscles get less oxygen when they need it most. Even the snacks you keep on hand can be part of the problem. Chips, crackers, and packaged pastries may seem like a small indulgence, but they're often full of artificial additives and salt that leave your muscles feeling heavy and your joints stiff. Pair those with energy drinks, sugary coffee creamers, or flavored yogurts, and you've painkillers and suppressed muscle growth created a perfect storm of inflammation. But perhaps the biggest issue is that most people don't see these foods as dangerous. They're convenient, they're familiar, some are even marketed as healthy. That's why the damage adds up slowly day by day without any obvious warning signs. So what can you do? You don't have to give everything up, you just need to swap wisely. Choose fresh over processed, go for whole grains. Instead of white flour, pick lean meats, fish, or legumes over deli cuts. Use olive oil instead of deep frying. Add vegetables, berries, turmeric, or nuts that naturally reduce inflammation. Focus on colors and freshness because real food doesn't come from a package. It comes from nature. And here's something most people forget. Your muscles are trying to heal every single day, but they can't do their job if they don't have the right fuel. Even the best workout can't outpace a poor diet filled with inflammation. The bottom line, you don't have to be perfect, you just have to be intentional. A few better choices today can support stronger muscles tomorrow. And speaking of things we put into our bodies, let's talk about a very common habit that many seniors rely on. For relief painkillers in the next section, we'll uncover why reaching for that bottle too often might be doing more harm to your muscles than you ever expected. You wake up stiff, maybe your knees ache, Maybe your back feels tight. So you do what millions of people do every day. You reach for a painkiller, a little ibuprofen, maybe acetaminophen. It helps, so you take another the next day and the next. But here's what no one tells you: that small daily habit, one that feels like relief, could be silently interfering with your body's ability to rebuild muscle. Let's break it down. When you move your body, even gently, your muscles experience micro tears. This is perfectly normal. In fact, it's part of how muscles grow. Your body senses the small damage and sends a wave of natural inflammation to the area. That inflammation isn't bad, it's a signal. It tells your body, repair this, make it stronger. But painkillers like NSAIDs, nonsteroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, block that signal. They reduce inflammation, yes, but they also mute the very process your muscles depend on to heal and grow. A study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that long-term use of NSAIDs can suppress muscle protein synthesis. That's the body's way of taking amino acids and turning them into stronger, healthier muscle fibers. If that process is interrupted regularly, your muscles may stop responding to activity the way they should. You may move more, but feel no stronger. You may recover slower, and over time, your muscle mass begins to shrink. And that's not the only concern. The protein crisis in senior diets, overusing painkillers, can put added stress on your liver and kidneys, two organs responsible for processing nutrients and removing toxins. It can also irritate your stomach lining, affecting digestion. And if your body isn't digesting properly, it isn't absorbing the vitamins, minerals, and protein your muscles rely on. That means the very pill you're taking to reduce soreness could actually be making your muscles weaker day after day without you realizing it now. To be clear, this isn't about avoiding all medications. There are times when pain relief is absolutely necessary: after surgery, during recovery from injury, or in the case of chronic conditions where inflammation is excessive or dangerous. But if popping painkillers has become a daily routine, it might be time to step back and ask, is this helping or just hiding something deeper? Fortunately, there are safer, gentler alternatives you can start using right away. Warm compresses or Epsom salt baths can ease stiffness. Gentle stretching or walking can loosen tight joints. Anti-inflammatory foods like ginger, turmeric, or fatty fish can reduce discomfort naturally. Staying hydrated and practicing deep breathing or mindfulness can also help calm the nervous system and reduce pain perception. And perhaps most importantly, talk to your doctor if you've been using painkillers regularly. It's worth having a conversation about your muscle health, your goals, and whether there are safer options for long-term care. Your body has the wisdom to heal, but it needs space, time, and support to do so. Sometimes the best thing you can do is listen, not silence the message. In the next section, we'll focus on one of the most misunderstood parts of senior nutrition: protein. It's not just for athletes, it's a missing link in maintaining your strength, energy, and mobility after 60. And chances are you're not getting enough. Most people think of protein as something for bodybuilders or young athletes: shakes, grilled chicken, egg whites, things you'd expect to see in a gym bag or a fitness ad. But here's the truth: no one is talking about as you age. Your need for protein actually increases, and if you're over 60, chances are you're not getting enough of it. Let's take a look at what's happening inside your body. As you get older, your muscles naturally begin to break down faster. This isn't a choice, it's part of aging. But here's the final recap and empowering next steps problem: your ability to rebuild those muscles slows down at the same time. That means unless you give your body extra support through nutrition, you begin losing muscle mass, strength, and function more rapidly than you realize. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition recommends that older adults consume at least 1.2 to 1.5 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight every day. For someone weighing about 65 kilos, that's around 80 to 100 grams of protein daily. But research shows that most seniors barely get half that amount. That means your muscles are starving quietly, slowly, day by day. And it's not about how full you feel. Many seniors eat meals that feel satisfying: toast at breakfast, soup at lunch, rice and vegetables at dinner. But there's little to no muscle fuel in that routine. No eggs, no fish, no beans or yogurt. Just soft, comforting foods that fill the stomach but leave the muscles empty. This kind of silent undernourishment is one of the top reasons older adults struggle to recover from simple activities like walking, climbing stairs, or getting up from a chair. Without protein, the body can't rebuild without rebuilding strength. fades even if you're active, but there's good news. It doesn't take massive changes to turn this around. Start your day with a protein rich option. It could be as simple as a scrambled egg, a spoonful of Greek yogurt, or a bit of peanut butter on whole grain toast. Add a handful of lentils or beans to your lunch. Have fish, chicken, or tofu with dinner. Even a smoothie made with oats milk and a scoop of protein powder can make a difference. You don't have to eat more, you just have to eat smarter. And here's something most people don't realize: muscles aren't built in the gym, they're built in the kitchen. If your body doesn't have the building blocks, it needs no amount of stretching. Walking or exercising can make up for it. Protein doesn't just help with muscle growth, it helps with balance, immune function healing after injury, and even energy levels throughout the day. Without it, everything slows down, including you in the next section. We'll talk about a surprising but often ignored factor in muscle health: sleep, because your muscles don't grow while you move, they grow while you rest. And if you're not getting quality sleep, your muscles may never get the chance to recover at all. You've just uncovered the everyday habits that quietly destroy your strength: things as simple as what you eat for breakfast, how long you sit, and even what you drink. But here's the most important part: none of these changes require perfection, just awareness, just one small shift at a time. Drink that extra glass of water, add an egg to your plate, stand up and stretch between shows. These aren't just habits, they're signals to your body that you're still here, still strong, and still in control of your future. Because strength after 60 isn't built in one big decision. It's built in hundreds of quiet moments when you choose motion over stillness, nourishment over convenience, action over fear. And the truth is, your body is still listening. The only question is, what will you tell it?